The November-December issue of Foreign Affairs is going to be a special issue. It's going to be larger than most. It's going to look further into the future than we usually do. And the reason for that is that we are in the midst of a profound transition across a whole broad front of human activity and engagement. For example, the international order is increasingly in need of change to represent the powers and forces of today rather than of a former era. There is at the top of that international order a series of big powers. And for the first time in many, many centuries, more of the big powers are non-Western. And that requires cultural changes as well as institutional and systemic changes. And those big powers, if it's done right, can engage and make the world more prosperous and secure for everyone. If the engagement goes awry, so to speak, then we're in for a period of great contests and challenges and potential conflicts. If we move to planetary issues like climate control, water scarcity, food scarcity, massive migrations of people from the country to the cities, these also require much more multilateral engagement than is the case today. They all have promise. They also all have potential dangers. And we have to be aware of these great trends that are underway if we're properly to address them. Let me just suggest some of the subjects that we're going to be touching in specific. Hillary Clinton, our Secretary of State, is going to do a piece on the changing nature of American foreign policy. More emphasis on diplomacy, more emphasis on development, more emphasis on non-military security issues. Eric Schmidt, the head of Google, is going to do a story on cyber effects on international relations and foreign policy. A team of fellows here at the Council on Foreign Relations are doing a piece on clean energy and the race to get to it between Brazil, India, China, and the United States, and how that race can be very constructive or how it might end up being very protectionist. The latter would, of course, be very damaging for the future. There is the rise of religion as a force in global affairs. And we have a renowned scholar who is doing a piece on the struggle, if you will, for the soul of the 21st century. Other subjects are, as I said, to pick out key states to take a look at because they have more effect than most on where we are headed. There's resurgent Russia. There is Turkey as a pivot state between East and West and North and South. There is China, which next to the United States is now the great power in the scheme of things. And there is, beyond that, there is the European Union, which if it can get its act together will be an invaluable partner for the United States in this grand competition at the top level between great powers that is now arising. All that and more will be a part of this special issue, which is an effort to get everybody to think a little bit beyond the particular problems of today, which are many, or to look at the problems of today as foretelling what are some of the larger problems coming down the road that we have to address if we are to have a prosperous and secure world.